Night of December 16, 2012, a 23-year-old physiotherapy student, later referred to as Nirbhaya, meaning fearless, boarded a private bus in Delhi with a male friend after watching a movie. Believing it to be a legitimate service, they sought a ride home. Unknown to them, 6 men aboard the bus, including the driver, had other intentions. The bus deviated from its route, and the 2 passengers were trapped. The men taunted the couple before violently assaulting them. Nirbhaya's male companion was beaten unconscious with an iron rod, rendering him unable to help her. The men then took turns gang raping Nirbhaya and sexually assaulting her with the same rod. The brutality inflicted severe internal injuries, leaving her intestines irreparably damaged. After the attack, the perpetrators stripped both victims and threw them from the moving bus onto the roadside, leaving them to die in the cold December night. Passers-by discovered the 2, and they were rushed to a hospital. The aftermath: Nirbhaya was admitted to Delhi Safdarjung Hospital in critical condition. Despite extensive surgeries and medical interventions, her condition deteriorated. On December 29, 2012, she was flown to a hospital in Singapore for advanced treatment, but her injuries proved fatal. She passed away the same day, leaving the nation in mourning. The public outrage, the news of the incident spread quickly, igniting nationwide protests. Demonstrations erupted in Delhi and across India, with thousands of people demanding justice and safety for women. Protesters braved freezing temperatures and police crackdowns, uniting to voice their anger and grief. This case wasn't just about Nirbhaya, it became a symbol of the deep-seated issues of sexual violence and systemic failures in ensuring women's safety in India. The protests drew global attention, with media and activists worldwide highlighting the case as emblematic of broader issues regarding gender-based violence. Legal proceedings and justice, arrests and trials. 1. Within days, police arrested all 6 suspects. 1. Their confessions and forensic evidence linked them to the crime. 2. The youngest perpetrator, a 17-year-old minor, was tried in a juvenile court and sentenced to 3 years in a reform facility, the maximum sentence allowed under Indian law at the time. 3. The other 5 were tried as adults. 3. One of them, Ram Singh, reportedly committed suicide in jail before the trial concluded. Verdicts and sentencing. 1. In 2013, the remaining 4 adults were convicted and sentenced to death. 1. After multiple appeals and delays, the Supreme Court upheld the death penalty. 2. On March 20, 2020, nearly 8 years after the crime, the convicts were executed by hanging in Tihar jail, providing some closure to Nirbhaya's family and supporters. Legal and social impact: the case sparked widespread demands for legal reform and stricter laws against sexual violence. In response, the government formed the Justice Verma Committee, which recommended sweeping changes, including 1. Defining new categories of sexual crimes, such as stalking and voyeurism. 2. Increasing the minimum punishment for rape and introducing the death penalty in cases involving extreme brutality. 3. Setting up fast-track courts to handle sexual assault cases more efficiently. The Criminal Law Amendment Act, 2013, incorporated many of these recommendations, marking a significant shift in India's approach to gender-based violence. Cultural and societal shift, awareness and activism: the Nirbhaya case ignited a cultural reckoning in India. Conversations about rape, patriarchy, and victim blaming, which were often avoided in public discourse, became widespread. Activists, media, and civil society pushed for greater awareness and accountability. Empowerment of women: more women began speaking out against harassment and abuse. Survivors found solidarity, and movements advocating for women's rights gained momentum. Safety measures. 1. Initiatives like the introduction of panic buttons in public transport and women-only metro coaches aimed to improve safety. 2. Government campaigns like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Save the Daughter, Educate the Daughter, sought to address deep-rooted gender inequalities. Global repercussions. The case also resonated internationally, with world leaders, human rights organizations, and media outlets expressing outrage. It became a watershed moment in the global fight against gender-based violence, shining a light on the systemic challenges women face worldwide. Legacy. Nirbhaya's story remains a powerful reminder of the horrors of sexual violence and the resilience of survivors and their families. Her parents, particularly her mother, became vocal advocates for justice and gender equality, continuing to fight for women's rights in India. The case left an indelible mark on Indian society, legal frameworks, and global perceptions of gender violence. While it highlighted profound challenges, it also showed the power of collective action and the possibility of change. This tragic story, though harrowing, serves as a rallying cry for a world free of violence and injustice.